everyone, welcome back to yet another episode of SunFM, where it is shining in our studios and we hope that you are having a bright and shiny day. My name is Eldon.
And I'm Damien. And welcome to this first episode of a new series. Eldon, do you mind telling people about what this series is about?
Okay, to everyone out there who are listening to our podcast, actually SunFM had recently introduced a new and latest addition to our series lineup, and it is called SunFM Talks. So in SunFM Talks, we are trying to get in touch with people who we believe that we can get interesting topics from, and those people are basically just people in Sunway or between Sunway clubs and societies. And then we find who are we going to talk to, and then we are trying to find an interesting topics or like certain issues that is interesting to talk about, of course, and basically just discussing our opinions and exchanging ideas with each other. And I think that is it for a really brief introduction about the latest edition series, SunFM Talks. And I hope that you guys will really show us your love and support, because we have been planning this for the longest time. And we don't really want to mess it up. So yeah, that's that.
Yeah, plus we get to meet new and different people from other places, right? You know, just like since we can't like go out to interact with other people, so this is a very good chance for us to discuss and have a talk with other people. So for this first episode, we have Echo Media. Let's give them a warm welcome.
And hello, welcome Echo Media students. We are very pleased and very honored to have you guys as the first guest in our very first episode in this series. So, maybe the two of you can tell us a little bit more about Echo Media, like what is the history of it, the mission and vision statement behind Echo Media, and what makes Echo Media so interesting and so important in the whole Sunway curricular activities.
Okay, so Sunway Echo Media is a student leader body, and as the name suggests, it's from Sunway. Shocking, I know.
Yeah.
But
Wow.
I know. And what makes it interesting is that we have 4 departments, and a majority of our contributions are online. So the 4 departments that we have is first creative writing, where we can write about, as the name suggests, again, it's creative stuff, like basically like short stories,
Write creatively.
poems, yeah. But okay, so our second department is event reporting. So yeah, self-explanatory. We report events that happen inside Sunway or outside of Sunway. And then the third department is PR and design. So our PR team.
Today design.
Oh my gosh! You see, you can join us now. Like, you already know the department.
I know, right? But I will do that.
Wow.
Yeah.
You guys really have a lot of interesting departments in your clubs. That's really good. That's really interesting.
Yeah, we also have video production, which
they
you
produce
guys
video?
can join. Yeah, you guys look like you guys know how to make videos.
Wow.
Do I?
Don't jinx.
No.
We actually don't know how to.
Yeah.
No.
No, Natasha, we can't
Okay,
edit
then
videos.
come to Sunway Echo Media and we'll teach you.
So, another question is, what's the importance of Sunway Echo Media in Sunway?
So Sunway Echo Media, we aspire to be the Sunway students' voices. So that means that we like to touch on topics that Sunway students are interested in, as well as informing them about events that they could be interested in, maybe within Sunway University or outside Sunway University. And we also are a platform for them to express their creativity, especially because they might not have as many platforms outside to express their creativity. So we aspire to be that creative outlet.
So you guys are the speaker of the students.
Basically, the voice for the students.
Yeah,
A platform for the
Exactly.
students to voice out their opinions and
Yes.
stuff like that.
That's why
right?
our mission is be the voice that echoes.
So, do you guys have any, since you guys say that it's a platform, so do you mind telling us that which kind of platform you guys normally use?
Okay.
Like any social...
So basically, our main platforms are our social media, which is Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and the handle is Sunway Echo Media. Yeah, shocking, I know. But we also have a website, which is sunwayechomedia.com.
So basically,
Okay.
all of your social media handles are with Sunway Echo Media.
Yes.
Yeah. Do you want
So
to
that
say
is-
that a few more times so people remember?
So practically, it's very easy.
Exactly.
So practically, it's
Yeah,
very
like-
easy to look you guys up on social media.
That's why you
Yep.
should.
Yes.
Yeah, Sunway Echo Media, guys. You know, we're going to echo it a few times so you guys remember. Sunway Echo Media, Sunway Echo Media,
Sunway Echo
Sunway
Media.
Sunway Echo Media. Manifesting Sunway Echo Media. Hello! We should promote Sun FM more instead.
Sun FM, Sun FM,
Sun FM,
Sun FM,
Sun FM,
Sun
Sun
FM.
Media.
Tune into
Sunway
Sunway FM, guys.
Sun FM, Sun FM, Sun FM. Okay, so since we are talking about journalism, writing stuffs, or even publications from Echo Media, so I have a little bit of a question that I would like to ask, or I would like to discuss among us. So since a lot of our younger audience out there, or even Sunway students that don't know much about yellow journalism, do you guys know what is yellow journalism? Damien?
No, I don't. Is it like, do they write in yellow or?
Okay, so I,
mean,
think...
Yeah, you think?
I mean, probably, maybe.
Okay, let's not go there. Let's come back.
Literally,
Yeah,
yellow
let's not go
journalism.
there.
Let's not go there. Okay, so I think yellow
okay.
journalism and sensationalism, it's quite hard for me to pronounce, but I
Yeah,
guess.
it's a very...
And since we are talking about publications, so I think it might just be a good idea for us to talk about yellow journalism and sensationalism, which is basically just clickbait culture. Okay, so do any one of you have any idea about what is actually yellow journalism?
Well, okay.
Whoa,
so
flex.
since I'm a
Yes.
diploma in
Whoa.
communication student, I'm supposed to know this. Yeah, and flex, low-key. So we learned this in class. Basically, yellow journalism is basically fake news. And the reason why this fake news happened was because a little background history around 1890s. There were two people. One was from New York and one was from San Francisco, if I'm not mistaken. Don't quote me on this. And both of them were like reporting news, and they were both competitors because their papers were like the most circulated ones in the world at the moment. And basically, because they're having a competition, right? So they want more people to buy their newspapers. So what they end up doing is that they created, like they sensationalized their news. So they use all these big headlines, all these, they twist the truth a bit, and then further down the road, it got worse and worse. And this gave birth to yellow journalism. If Julia can explain it better, I feel like
Maybe Julia can try?
I
passing the mic.
I feel like you touched on the main points, but yeah, from what I remember is actually the reason why it got its name yellow journalism is because one of the papers, which I believe was The World, yeah, don't quote me on that either. they had a cartoonist who would draw this kid in a yellow raincoat, so he was known as the Yellow Kid. And so the rival newspaper ended up employing the same cartoonist to draw the same yellow kid for their paper. So that's why they ended up being known as yellow journalism, because both these rival papers actually had the same yellow kid. And obviously, the rival paper kind of stole the cartoonist of the other paper.
It's because of their history. So it's called yellow journalism. Okay, let's
Wow.
not go there again. Yeah. I mean, because just now, Natasha actually said that, how like design team means the design, media production means they produce videos. I thought yellow journalism, So like,
But-
like how I read news sometimes, right? Like on Facebook and Instagram, how like, do you guys remember about the election last time in the US? Like how they were saying
yeah.
like, it's actually Biden won, but there's this news, they keep saying that it was Trump that actually won. So I think that's counted as a kind of yellow journalism, right? Or is it different?
I think from their explanation,
Yes,
I
you
think
could
it
count that
is.
as
Yeah, because they literally say, it literally screams fake news, right?
I mean, more to fake news and exaggeration of news.
Yeah. I think that's
Like they could be talking about like this is what actually happens, but when they write it in news, they tend to like go overboard and create like a misleading
Yeah.
thoughts or concepts for the public.
Natasha, what do you think?
That is what I understand from their explanations.
yeah. So the way I see it, right, is that because like we're talking about fake news, the circulation of it all. So I think this comes as one of the downside of yellow journalism and the sensationalizing, because you see we tend to take all this time to figure out whether this news is true, whether this news is fake, whether this news can be trusted, and this is like valuable time. And the bad side of it is that people who read the news, when they see a news, they think, oh, is this true, is this fake, and then most of the time they don't believe it. And then like the example you mentioned, which there's a high chance that it's fake, but then there's also this small little doubt, wait, what if it's true, because we
course.
can't be sure
True.
because of all
So,
this
sure.
sensationalization.
Julia, do you have any, like, the news that you see is like, wow, fake news. You knew that it's fake news, but there are a lot of people that, thought that it was real. Do you have any, have you ever seen anything that is like that before, or?
I would say actually the one that you gave just now is probably one that is most prominent that I've seen, especially because it's actually the perfect example, because it shows how some newspapers, they are willing to distort the facts just to put forth their own political bias.
Yeah.
And that's actually really dangerous because it's distorting society's mindset as well and perception.
True.
And especially because most people, when they are logging on to like if they're going to check out a news organization, if they're going to read articles there, they're expecting it to be true because they're like applying an educational standard to the news. So the fact that they're not providing the facts that they're supposed to is just showing that they lack objectivity that is actually
I
required in the media.
And it's
Yes.
especially harmful when it involves
Yes,
politics.
the sensitivity is there for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because it can.
So it's
Yeah,
best for us to,
exactly.
like, how do I say this? It's best to, it's best that we don't cross over to the gray area, It's very dangerous, and who knows what might happen sometimes, right? Because
Yes.
like we might cause panic to people, because like how in WhatsApp groups, right? There are, like how most of the people, they have their own WhatsApp groups, and then sometimes they might just send this news without checking the fact, without checking whether it's true or not. And then sometimes when they never check it, and then it just keeps spreading again.
That one
It just
auntie in
keeps
WhatsApp.
spreading, and then we were like, oh my goodness, is this real? And then like, when you went on to search, it's actually fake, and then it just like caused panic sometimes,
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, like I wanted to talk about this actually. I'm not sure if you guys saw this
the
about
AZ.
the vaccine, the AstraZeneca. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. Yeah, it's like some say that you can register for 18 and above, and then I checked the news and it say no, that's fake. You only 16 and above can register. And then my friend messaged me mind you, she's the same age as me. And she's like, are you registering? And I'm like, isn't that fake? Then she's like, no, it's true. Then I sent her the article, and then right now she read the article, but then she sent me this WhatsApp message saying that 18 and above can register. So now I'm confused. Like, do you guys know? Can 18 and above register?
Yeah.
I think, in that situation, I would say it's best not to listen to, especially WhatsApp messages. Those are like, don't listen to those. And especially if you want to fact check such very serious matters like a vaccination, it's best not to simply rely on news organizations. It's probably best to just look at official announcements from ministries.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, that's the reality of how we have to consume our media now, is that you have to critically analyze everything that you are consuming.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah.
So,
I think that's... Yeah, I just wanted to say, like, that's why it's so harmful, especially for... I don't want to represent the whole, like, teenage population, but most of the time, we just read the headlines. And I saw this one article that says, like, 2 out of 3 people just read the headlines without reading the news. So that's why, like, these headlines is really... influential also, so that's why they should like
there's 4 of us now, right?
Exactly.
Like just now you say
that's what
1 out of 3 people only read the headline. 2 out of 3, so we have 4 of us here. I would say that I am the kind of person that read the headlines only. So
same, I read headlines only. I think Julia's the one who actually
Yes, I'm
reads
sorry,
articles.
I'm such a bookworm. I'll read anything.
I sometimes do read the headlines only, but sometimes I do read the content because. So, okay, from your examples, like the WhatsApp media and everything, WhatsApp messages, so I think that we can classify as hype media because it has so many traffics and so many shares throughout the platforms. And how do you guys think that these kind of messages or medias get so many views and clicks or traffics within such a short period of time?
I'd say is that they use like the catchiest headlines that they can even come up with, and that is mainly just for like the drama factor. It's not necessarily factual, because the reason for this is because I think we as humans, we are wired to be immediately drawn to anything that sparks curiosity. So the most part is usually like very dramatic headlines. So even if it's not necessarily true, that's how they're going to ensure that they have so many views to
solidify
regarding their content, because
to solidify
people are drawn to that.
Yeah, I think that's that.
Yeah, I think it's mainly like shock value. When you see something surprising, I think it's an innate nature. When you see something surprising, you want to share it to everyone.
People love drama.
Yeah, that's true. Because like there's this one time, right, I saw a news, I didn't fact check it, I sent it to my friend, and then after like a few videos, I found that it's not real. It's like fake news. I was like, I streamed it to the group, I deleted the message, I was like, sorry, fake news guys, I'm sorry. So I think it's very important for it was so awkward, but
this is why you should fact check a story or a news before you send it to other people.
Fact check from a trustable resources or from official website, guys.
Exactly.
But you see, in this situation, it's really good because you actually took accountability for spreading that fake news, and then you actually informed them that it was fake and not trustworthy. But the issue with like social media and everything, people are going to share things maybe like on their stories, and it's going to end up being fake, but they're not going to inform people afterwards. So it's just stuck in people's heads afterwards. That's the issue.
It's like a cycle that keeps going on and on and on. So hopefully
the chains
everyone
of
has
fake news keeps circulating.
Yeah. So hopefully everyone would have the skill to know what is true
Exactly.
and what is fake, and try to spread
Yes.
the news that are true and not the fake one. Okay, guys, be honest here, okay?
Yes.
Honesty news. So, you guys say that you guys have different platforms, right? So I was wondering, do you guys know about Instagram journalism? Okay, so it's basically, you know how like during our generation now, right? Instead of going to the website for the news, they actually, people actually like put the news into pictures and then posted it as a post on Instagram. So it's kind of journalism, but it's a made easy kind of journalism. So for example, like, you know, the Loud Asian, I don't know whether you guys have heard of it. I think Echo Media also do
Yeah.
Instagram journalism, right? You guys basically, no, you guys don't do it? Because I saw like
no,
some
we don't.
posts. Yeah.
Yeah, we wouldn't consider it as Instagram journalism. It's more of like previews of actual articles that we have on our website.
Okay, because what some of them do is they gather sources, articles, and stuff, and then they compile it, and then they posted it on Instagram to make sure that it is more of a easier way for audience to see that. Because you know how we normally nowadays we just like turn on Instagram, we just scroll, and then yes, we see the headline, we were like, oh, this headline is catchy, it's boomy, and then we'll just slide to the next photo in order to see the news, the inside of the news. So like we don't have to really click on the website and then get redirected to the other, you know, to the other link. I mean, for me, it's quite simple because first thing first, I don't have to like get transported to another link. Second is I don't have to read a bunch of words. Third thing is they have pictures sometimes to let you know better. I don't know whether you guys like, you know, like, I mean, so my question for you guys is, do you guys feel that it's like easier to read this kind of, you know, journalism and stuff? This kind of articles?
For me, okay, I agree with your points that it is easier, it's more available. Usually I see these types of stuff in Instagram and you know, people share, then I just click and then I swipe and then I already know what's happening. You know, so it's very simple for like Gen Z or millennial kids to keep up with the news without looking at newspapers or news articles. However, there is a big con to this type of journalism, which is there's no accountability per se. Like a person can just make an account anonymously and then they can post whatever they want. And at the end, sure, sometimes they include sources, but we don't know if it's reliable sources. And the thing is, if those news ended up fake, there's no implications to what, there's no like accountability on the other person's part. So as compared to news articles, if they were to report falsely, there would be the journalist or the writer who wrote that would have serious disciplinary action. So personally, I would still trust a news article more than Instagram journalism or
Even though it's from, you know, they compile it from trustable sources. Does it?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
I agree with Natasha as well, because I think obviously we can look at the benefits of it. It's that we're able to connect to a wider audience because it's more accessible for a lot of people when you do this kind of journalism. But the issue with this is also that to be able to fit so much information in such few slides, for example, you have to compress so much that in the end people might not get the full context of the situation. And so this is especially dangerous when it comes to actual social issues or humanitarian issues because you don't get the full context.
Yes, I do agree because for myself, I actually go on Instagram and I saw a bunch of these types of Instagram journalism. Just like what she said earlier that so much information compressed into so little slides, like just a few slides, maybe two till eight slides.
Yeah.
They tend to oversimplify the facts. Because sometimes I do fact check myself when it comes to news and articles. So I saw these issues about this very certain issue, very recent issues about the war between Israel and Palestine.
Yep.
I come across this post which educates people about the history of it, like what has happened between two of the countries that is fighting against each other. But the facts that they provided in the slides are actually too simplified in a way that it's quite misleading. So I would say like those kind of things made such great impact on the audience, because just like they said, it's quite accessible because everyone could access to it.
Yeah.
Like literally anyone on Instagram.
Yeah.
Some more the post is like very colorful in design.
Yes.
Whatnot.
Indeed. Yes. Yes.
Yes, because it's attractive to the eyes. So everyone would just look at it and just like swipe without fact checking.
Yeah.
And sometimes they even provided sources towards the end of the slides or the post. So people will sort of create this type of mindset that, oh, this post is reliable. This post is trusted.
Yeah.
I should trust them. I should trust this news. But what they neglect is they tend to overlook the facts that is oversimplified, and like the whole situation is like quite, how do you say, they make it more simpler than it should be.
Like we are not looking at the big
like
picture, but we only are looking at that particular spot in the picture. So, I guess I'll read more
You
into this.
should. Because
That's
before
also the
this,
harm. Oh, okay. Yeah, but what I meant to say is like that's the harm of it. Like when you see it on Instagram, then you swipe a few times, then you think, oh, okay, I know what this is about already. So you don't bother to go read articles. And you were saying.
So simple doesn't mean that it's better.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah. Then you were saying?
Because before this, I was just like other teenagers.
Yeah. I mean, you are a teenager now. What do you mean other teenagers? You just offended the whole teenagers.
Yeah, I am a teenager. I'm very young.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I was trying to say like I was just like everybody else. Whenever I saw an Instagram post that has cited sources at the end of their post, I would literally just like believe them right into it. But then after I learned my mistakes, because this one time I don't know what got into me, I was very eager to like go online and fact checking everything that I want to read, because I mean fake news are circulating all over the web. Don't we agree?
Yeah.
So I have this sudden thoughts like, okay, I want to go online and search for sources, credible sources.
Yeah.
So I come across this post and I literally analyze the whole thing, like the whole post.
Yep.
Just because I have the time, so I did it. But
you must be free.
turns out, just like what I said, earlier, they really just oversimplified the facts, and I think it's not fair for the situation. It's not fair for the audience as well, because the audience has the right to know what is happening, and the situation is like serious, like it's sensitive and serious. So making it simplified, it's not going to make any better for the situation. So yeah, that's my 2 cents about it.
Yeah.
I
Okay. I
agree.
think from
And
now
guys,
on, I would think of You were saying?
Yes, I was saying that. Please do your fact checking before reading or like solidify anything that you are reading, or like before sharing it into everybody else, just like you did.
Yeah. So it's better to do a more detailed reading instead of just reading at those Instagram posts. You guys can think of it as the Wikipedia. It's very general. It's not very general sometimes because people might be able to edit it. So do your fact checking from official articles read the big picture, not just a particular spot. So,
and I mean, even if you see like these posts and you decide to learn more about this topic, don't just rely on that one post. You can go on and read other articles, other books. I mean, learning about current events that are happening in the world is a lifelong journey.
Yes.
You know, it's a lifelong learning process. So you can't just read a couple of things and think, okay, I've got the context.
Because like I have asked a few friends about like sometimes, you know, when we're free we'll have a little chat and talk about like, do you guys know what's happening around the world? And then they were like, no. Like the only thing they care about now is vaccine and stuff, but not what's actually happening around the world. So I think it's good for them to like, you know, because we are all living in the same planet, so it's good that you know what's actually happening around you. Some people might think that it's like, oh, it doesn't matter to me. Like politics, most of the people they don't really read it, but I feel like that it's part of our life. So like you can read about it, you can know what's actually happening, around you, so that I guess it could like broaden your knowledge and have a wider vision to know what's actually happening. So
exactly.
Yeah, I think that is a very nice lesson for every one of you every one of you that's listening to, you know, to read more and then to know what's actually true and what's not true. Another question from me is that, because you know like how there are like bunch of news just that we say just now, do you think that, because just now we were like talking about stuff from our own perspective, right, from the perspective of a reader and a viewer, so let's say from a perspective of the journalist, do you think that like there are some news that they shouldn't be putting on, you know, like those are, you know, like how I normally read some news, they are like really sad because like some of the people they pass away, but the journalist is still trying to write an article and interview them. So do you guys think that ethics is a very important thing when it comes to journalism?
Yeah, so this is something that I learned during my journalism course, is how important ethics are, because without ethics, people would lose respect for journalists and people in the like news industry. And from what I can say is that yes, we do learn that we have to respect the other person, the victim in that situation. And sometimes the victim don't want to be photographed or they don't want to share their story. However, although the journalists do learn this stuff, like these are the common ethics, there are still some journalists who are chasing that article, chasing that story. So I'm not saying for all journalists, but there are that few a few bad apples that cause this that have looser ethics because they want to provide the best coverage, the best story. So
Sales
I guess
is most important.
Yeah. So that's the problem with journalism, I guess.
Makes sense. Because like
I do agree.
you know like
Yes.
you know like I don't like sometimes, right, like there are news about the personal life, especially the celebrities, you know, like some of the celebrities they actually got panic attack or like other mental disorder because their life are invaded by paparazzis, which is also a kind of journalist. So like it's actually heartbreaking to see that they don't have their own privacy in their life. Like they are still like a normal human being, similar as us. Like imagine what would happen if somebody just invade your life and take pictures without your consent and stuff, right?
Yeah, and what's worse is that they take these pictures and then sometimes they spin their own story to what they want to that picture to mean.
Yes.
Like, yeah, like let's say for example, sometime a female celebrity is out with a guy, then the paparazzi take a picture, then they just write, oh, is this her new boyfriend?
Yeah,
So,
like
they just
They just spin it whatever they want.
Yeah.
just like my favorite like my favorite singer Taylor Swift. So basically, whenever she was seen going out with a man, they would be like, there she goes again, like going on, fighting boyfriend and writing songs about it.
I was like, thinking about Taylor Swift too. Poor Taylor Swift.
Yeah. Yeah, so sometimes we were like, I thought she was just going out with a guy as a friend, not like sometimes you were just like, no, that's just a normal human being. Like, imagine that whenever you just go out with a guy for assessment and stuff, right? And then the next day you see a headline going out for a date, and then it just like distorted headlines will be like, oh, there we go again.
Yes.
But yeah, I think it's very important when coming to journalism, honesty, I guess.
Definitely.
Is that what you guys are trying to? Honesty, transparency.
Respect of privacy.
Yes, definitely.
Yes.
Hopefully that, journalism could have, I wouldn't say that they don't have ethics now, but maybe a more respectful attitude towards every other person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree, yes. Okay, so towards the end of our discussions, so prior to this, we have actually planned out a little activity for the four of us.
Yes.
And, after some discussions, maybe it is quite fun for us to do like a small trivia thingy or like question and answer thingy between the four of
SunFM
us.
versus Echo Media.
So what happened is actually that SunFM team and the Echo Media team has prepared one article each, and we were just trying to discuss how is this article counted as or classified as yellow journalism. So I think without further ado, I think SunFM can start first.
Yep. So our title is The Latest Coronavirus Comes from Dogs. That's a headline. Yeah, what do you guys look so shocked? Okay, the latest coronavirus comes from dogs. According to the article, I will just read out the main points. It says that scientists have discovered a new canine coronavirus in a child who was hospitalized with pneumonia in Malaysia in 2018. So, yet in the second paragraph, they say that it is not clear whether this specific virus poses a serious threat to humans. And then after that, they talk about 7 coronaviruses are currently known.
Confusing.
7 coronaviruses are currently known to infect humans, in addition to SARS-CoV-2, which is the virus that causes COVID-19. And then, the next paragraph, it says, it is too soon to say whether this virus poses a risk to humans again. Researchers have not yet proved that the virus is the cause of the pneumonia that sent patients to the hospital. And then, at the end, it says, nevertheless, the study is extremely important. We should take this seriously and look for it. Because if we start seeing more cases, that's when the alarm bell should go off. So that's the main few points of this article. So what do you guys think about this particular article? Like, the latest coronavirus comes from dogs.
Is that the end of the article? I'm so confused. What did that have to do with the article? Like, what did that have to do with the article? What did the headline, like dogs, and then they didn't mention dogs anymore throughout the whole article? What was the point of that headline?
It's like they give they set the title as
Would
latest
that be
coronavirus
counted as
comes
yellow
from
journalism?
dogs.
From your opinion?
Yeah, would that be counted?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I would say yes, because you see, the headline is so eye-catching, isn't it? Oh, a dog can cause coronavirus. So obviously everyone is going to go, oh, okay, I need to read this. This might be true. But when you dive deeper into the article, you see that there is no mention of like dogs. Plus, the facts that they are giving out are so contradictory. One is saying that, oh, there's no evidence, but another one says, oh, it's so important to study more about this. It shows that there's no concrete facts that you can actually like grasp onto.
Exactly. I agree with what Julia said.
So yeah, I think I would be agree as well because the article and the headline has nothing. It's not even related.
Yeah.
Like,
Because-
okay, there's no mention of dogs in the article, but yet the headline is like coronavirus caused by dogs. But okay,
Yes.
I guess.
Because like, you know how we are currently living in this pandemic now. So like the first thing we saw was coronavirus comes from dogs. The first thing I thought was, oh my goodness,
Right? There was no like relation
Yeah,
between
like,
those two.
the first thing-
I don't even know why they would want to name that.
Yeah.
Man,
Because like
yeah, definitely
I think-
yellow journalism
Yeah.
and a really
Because they are
bad
trying to
bad case.
yes.
yeah, they might cause a mass panic, you know, to everybody. Like the first times I read the article, I was like, oh my goodness, I'm going to get away from my dog because I have a dog, and I was like, oh my goodness, I'm so scared now. But turns out that they say that it's, you know, it's not confirmed yet. It's basically just still under study, still a study. So like,
a
you know, during
theory.
this pandemic, it might cause a very big panic among all the people because we are like living in a very, very, very serious pandemic. So I guess this title is, just like you guys say, consider yellow journalism because of the misleading title. So
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
and the fact that they brought the dogs into this, what have
Yeah.
dogs done wrong?
Actually, that is so
Yeah.
dangerous if
Poor
you think about
dogs.
it. Because if people actually truly believe this, imagine they're just going around like putting down dogs. That's not okay.
Oh no.
Yeah.
No, that's so sad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Please guys, please don't get misled by this kind of title.
Yeah.
Dogs are your best friend.
Because that's the power that misinformation holds. That's the problem here.
Yep. So that's all from our article, I guess. So you guys will consider it and classify it as yellow journalism. So what do you guys have prepared
Yes.
for us?
Okay. Shall I read the title out for you?
Yes,
Sure.
please.
Okay.
Please.
Please be prepared. It's quite a long title. So,
Okay.
Malaysians left confused after KKM tags MKN at every request for total lockdown in Selangor.
Yep.
Everyone got that title? Very long.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Got it.
Got it.
So, the article starts off with one sentence and it states, is there some insider drama we're not aware of? So, what the article goes on to talk about is how concerned citizens in Selangor are tweeting out to the Ministry of Health, or KKM, to request for a total lockdown in Selangor due to all the COVID cases. But the Ministry of Health, their response was to tag the National Security Council, which is MKN. And so there are speculations in the article about, perhaps there's internal conflict between the Ministry of Health and the National Security Council. And the evidence that the article provides are just screenshots of people's tweets, plus the Ministry of Health tagging the National Security Council. But at the end of the article, they claim that the Ministry of Health actually clarified that it was simply that they were tagging the National Security Council simply to find a better solution during their meetings. And yet, they end the article with perhaps there is actually an internal conflict. So, what do you guys think? Is that yellow journalism or not?
Yes, Elder?
Can I go first?
Yeah, sure.
From my opinion, I would say it is. Because, okay, here's my take on this. They keep saying in the article about internal conflicts between the health ministers and like the other departments. So like they kept emphasis on two of those departments are having internal conflicts that the public doesn't aware of. So in a way, I feel like they are exaggerating in the article. Maybe just for like that particular
Spot.
topic or like that particular topic that yes.
Yeah.
I think they were just like over exaggerating that part. And some more like they are giving speculations on the article. I mean, like, speculations aren't news. They are not facts. They are just what people thought of it. And from speculations and over exaggerating news, I would say it's kind of count as yellow journalism. But it's all
Your
my
opinion.
opinion. So
Yeah.
Good analysis.
Okay,
how about
so
you,
from
my dear Damien?
Yes. So for me, I like how they were like giving a big headlines about confused about the people, the Malaysians, after they say that it's a conflict between the two departments. But it's like they did spill facts, like people were really confused. Okay, they did show that people are confused, but at the same time they were like talking about the conflict between the two departments. It's like trying to drag your attention, trying to like let you continue to read it so that something is definitely happening. But it's like how some people are like playing hard to get. It's like tingling your senses, but after the end it's like disappointment because you were like, so because their ending is like, if you want to know more, stay tuned for the next episode. So it's kind of like, I feel like there's a little bit of yellow journalism, but it's only a little, like just a little, just a very less content of yellow journalism. But I feel like they did that for the views to catch the attention of the people lah. So that's my opinion, my dear Eldon.
So yes, I would agree with both of you. I would consider this yellow journalism as well, but I would say it's a more, in my opinion, it's a more subtle yellow journalism because it's
it's more
like
subtle.
what we've looked at so far is like articles exaggerating facts or completely distorting facts, whereas in terms of this article, it's more like they're retaining some facts from the public. So that's why you don't get... the end result is still the same. You don't get the full context of the situation.
Yeah.
Yes.
The way I see it is like they narrate it in a way that makes it look like that there's internal conflict. So there was a little biasness in the way that they wrote it. So I think that counts as yellow journalism because
they were just trying to get.
A good article shouldn't have any bias or driving the narrative certain way. It should just report what happened without this. Oh, maybe there was an internal conflict. But sorry, you were saying?
Oh, nice discussion, I must say. I mean,
at least
based on the
we all
discussions,
know.
I think it really opens up our eyes.
I mean, it's one of the skills that we need to learn, try to know what is yellow journalism and what is not yellow journalism. So I think the audiences can, go online and try to search articles and see that whether are there any elements of yellow journalism or like fake news, misleading news. So I guess that's all from our episodes from today. So we'd like to thank Sunway Echo Media for joining us with this discussion and have this little talk. I seriously learned a lot. So hopefully you guys did too. Yes, Elden.
We learned a lot too. Yeah.
Thank you for having us.
At least I know, not to refer to Instagram posts from now on and read from an official source. Yes, I know. I'm sorry, guys. Actually, sorry. So, thanks for listening. And hope you guys follow our social media platform. You guys can go on Spotify, YouTube, search for Sunway FM. You can follow on Instagram also. And more importantly, follow Sunway Echo Media. Remember, if not, Julia's going to haunt you. Follow that, Sunway Echo Media in Instagram, YouTube. They have their own website too, sunwayecomedia.com. So, we hope all of you guys take care and stay safe. I will see you guys in the next episode. Bye!
Bye everyone!
Bye.